Now they can hear us.
Now they can hear us.
All right.
This will be my famous line. Are we alive?
We're alive and live.
We're alive and alive. Oh, thank God. We are both. It would be, you have to be both. You can't be one or the other, I guess. Well, welcome to Shabbat. It seems that you are keeping track of the week. So this is week number 19, which is, Chai plus 1.
Yes.
So, well, wherever you are receiving this web stream, we are so glad that you have tuned in. And it should be a very, very special Shabbat. So before I go with the usual chit-chat, I want to invite Delaney to come up. Delaney, come on up right here. Delaney is going to receive a very special honor tonight. She is our Shomeir Torah Award winner. Now you may wonder, what is that award? You're going to have to wait and find out. But Delaney, what grade are you in?
I'm in 4th.
You're going into 4th?
I'm going into 4th.
You're going into 4th. So she won this when she was a 3rd grader, and it was a little bit of a delayed presentation, but now that she is back in Las Vegas, we're going to present it to her a little bit later in the service. So she will be also assisting Kanter and leading services tonight. So thank you, Delaney. All right, I'll see you in just a bit. So some of the things that are happening in Temple. I need Ricky, we need music like bum, bum, bum. Can we do that? That is the introduction to a very important announcement from Kanter.
So, religious school is happening, yay! And there is going to be a hybrid program where you're going to get to have the opportunity to be in person should you want to, and we're going to make it very safe. So please register today. Well, now it's Shabbat, but maybe when Shabbat's over. You received an email a couple of weeks ago with the link, and if you misplaced that email, you can go on our website and click the link there and sign up on our Google form. Even if you have already registered, if you did it like last year when we were in COVID times and you did it on paper, please go ahead and do it through our system so we have accurate numbers. I would really appreciate it. It's going to be a wonderful year. Plan for our first day to be August 30th. So.
August 30th, all right. Kanter is our head of school this year. We're very proud of her. Interim head of school this next, 10 years.
Don't get any ideas.
Interim can last a long. Just I should not do such a good job. They'll just give this job to me forever. Anyways, it's going to be a great year. We're going to do our very best to make it as meaningful as possible, and we've got a lot of creative solutions for some big challenges. So stay tuned, but sign up for religious school. Don't forget that tomorrow's Torah study at 8:45, and then we have a very special rabbi with us throughout this year, Rabbi Cookie Olshein, who grew up in our congregation, was a member of our board, left her law practice to become a rabbi, and now has finished her term in West Palm Beach and has now relocated to Las Vegas while she is busy to write her book, 1 or 2 books. And in the meantime, she is going to be teaching at Congregation Near Tamid as a resident rabbinic scholar. So she is teaching on Tuesday nights at 5:30. Her first class up is Modern Questions, Ancient Wisdom, Responsa Literature for Our Time. So about 40 people signed up from coast to coast on her first class, and if you miss it, no worries. You find the information how? Through our
so let's see, it is available on our website. It was available on our blast.
So lvnertami.org
and I think it's up on Facebook as well. Mm-hmm.
Right. The last thing I want to say is more and more, as you realize, is being web streamed. That seems to be the way synagogues throughout the country are communicating and offering programming, and we are proud that we've received a lot of national attention for what we're offering. But someone reminded me, Rabbi, there are some people who would love to join on. They need a little bit of help with technology. So we are looking for 2 things. 1, people who want to be a technology mentor. That means that you are willing to connect with someone who has a computer but doesn't know how to turn it on or connect to Zoom or to the web stream, and you are willing to go to their home and spend a little bit of time showing them how to do it, and then follow up with them a couple times till they feel comfortable. The other way we need help is identifying people who would like a technology mentor, and in either case, if you know someone who needs help or you want to be the person to help, please email Roberta Unger or call Roberta Unger in the Temple office. So do a mitzvah, and pretty soon everyone will be online. So without further ado, Here we go. It's
Ready
Shabbos.
for Shabbat, yeah.
All right, Ricky, let's welcome Shabbat.
We sing to God a new song. Shir Chadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Now we bring in the light of Shabbat with our Shabbat candles, page 120, 121 if you're following along in your Siddur. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we by our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Page 124.
We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer.
We welcome the Shabbat bride, page 138, Lecha Dodi. Yalla Lecha Dodi, Yalla Likvat Kala, Yalla B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekabe, Yalla Lecha Dodi, Yalla Likvat Kala, Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'soholam, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala, yalalai, yalalai, chadodi, lechadodi, yalalai, likrat kala, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat, nikavi, yalalai, lechadodi, lechadodi, yalalai, likrat kala, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat, nikavela.
We remain standing for the Borchu, page 146. Page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai hamari v'aravim.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle within its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta, page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinontam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech ושוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, mi kamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Kifad Adonai et Yaakov, uyalo miad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Page 161. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Bringing something a little upbeat back. I don't think we've done this one in quarantine quite yet, but if you're at home and you want to dance, this is a good one to just move your shoulders a little bit too. I think, do you know this one? Do you know Bishamru? I think you remember. Okay, he's down the stool. Ricky's ready. Page 162. HaShabbat L'Dorotam Berit Olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'Dorotam Berit Olam Beini Uvein B'nei Yisrael Oti Le'olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'Dorotam Berit Olam Ki Sheshet Yomim Asa Adonai Et HaShamayim Ve'et ha'aretz V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'Dorotam Berit Olam Vayom V'ashvi Shabbat V'yinafash Shabbat V'yinafash V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'Dorotam Berit Olam for the wrong spot V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'Dorotam Berit Olam. All right. I don't think I could do the dance moves if you weren't here, so thank you for being here. That was great. Okay. I feel more joyful for Shabbat now because we've done that dance. So I hope you did it at home and you didn't just sit there and giggle at me. Delaney was cute, so at least you had that. All right, so we continue by rising for the Amidah on page 164. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia gitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol, atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hadal, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal givurosh, U'midol melach, Melech memit, U'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom v'halucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We continue in silent devotion through page 180, using the words on the right or the left side of the page, or the words within your heart. When you have completed your prayers, please be seated.
In a moment, we will join together in our Misha Berach prayer. So if there are those of you who are listening now who would like to submit name for the Kanter to read, names of people close to you who are in need of a prayer, I wanted to read a reflection that a colleague wrote. This is a Misha Berach for those who climb daily into their cars, buses, subways, and trains. For those who lost their jobs, homes, and food. For those anxiously waiting for what the future will bring. This is a Misha Berach for those who've lost loved ones, colleagues, and friends, in loneliness and helplessness without us noticing. This is for the addicts, the ones in need of medication, the ones in need of group support and therapy, who struggle with the absence of healthy habits. This is for the children, the elderly, and the ones with intellectual disabilities who do not understand why their lives suddenly and so drastically changed. This is for the ones who faced hells of violence and abuse in their homes without us being able to hear their screams. This is for the ones our free meals did not reach, the ones whose big dreams had to shrink, the ones whose futures are forever altered. This is for the ones who needed to stay home coughing and gasping for air, the ones so often lonely in their hospital beds. While others could rest, this is a Misha Berach. May the God who is a source of blessing remember the crying voice of God's children. God, hear our pain. Let us feel the presence of your love. Elna Rafan Allah. So we think of so many in our circle, and also those who are caregivers, who minister to others and give them hope and comfort in their time of need. I think especially now of my sister Dina, and I know Kanter, you had others to recall now.
Arlene Cohen, Jerry Friedman, Sonia Haggerty, Jane Cranston, Dr. Donald Altman, Stuart Baker, Mindy Nanny, Dr. Ronnie Krishenowicz, Cookie Goldberg, Michelle Wertheimer, Betty Todman, Richard and Amberly Lively, Larry Elazar Brandt, Roma Hayes, Pete Hammond, Lee Gillette, Jackie Gluck, Danielle Nagel,
Think of Kimberly Conrad, Tammy's sister.
Kay Brender, Joan Baumgartner, Larry Henderson, Dee Bale, Bill and Sue Carver, Emily Weinberg, Antoinette, Swina Tatum, Ashley Frankel, Karen Bearden, Jay Poster, Zara Leah and Karen Beth, Jerry Locke, Yvonne Sweeten, Jeff Nelson,
Jeff Jonas. A lot of people out there we are reaching out towards. I hope you feel our prayers of love and support.
Laura Burrell.
Wherever you are, join with us, please, in the Misha Berach, a prayer of hope and healing and love.
Find the courage to make our
Shabbos again, everyone. So I look back in time, August 2015, and I had the honor of delivering the invocation at the first AME Church's evening gala commemorating the Voting Rights Act. The keynote speaker was to be John Lewis, the last living iconic figure of the March on Washington, made famous by Dr. King in his I Have a Dream speech in August 1963. And while Dr. King received the greatest notoriety from that historic event, it also began an incredible career for John Lewis, who would become also a civil rights icon and activist. In August 1963, here are some of the excerpts of his speech. "We march today for jobs and freedom, but we have nothing to be proud of, for hundreds and thousands of our brothers are not here, for they are receiving starvation wages or no wages at all. To those who have said, 'Be patient and wait,' we have long said that we cannot be patient. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want our freedom now. We are tired. We are tired of being beaten by policemen. We are tired of seeing our people locked up in jail over and over again. I appeal to all of you to get into this great revolution that is sweeping this nation. Get in and stay in the streets of every city, every village and hamlet of this nation until freedom comes. By the force of our demands, our determination, and our numbers, we shall splinter the segregated South into 1,000 pieces and put them together in the image of God and democracy. We must say, 'Wake up, America, wake up, for we cannot stop, and we will not and cannot be patient.'" Powerful words that help guide his career and ring true, sadly, to this very day as we continue to fight for rights of all people, but especially of people of color. Those fiery words inspired a generation, and his continued activism ensured that the flame which burns for the fight of racial equality has never gone out. Overshadowed perhaps by the speeches of Dr. King and John Lewis was yet another important speech, which has been somewhat lost to history. It was a speech delivered by a rabbi who had immigrated to America in order to escape Nazi persecution in Germany. His name was Rabbi Joachim Prinz. Rabbi Prinz's remarkable speech was delivered just prior to that of Dr. King's, in which he declared, "I speak to you as an American Jew. As Americans, we share the profound concern of millions of people about the shame and disgrace of inequality and injustice which make a mockery of the great American idea. As Jews, we bring to this great demonstration in which thousands of us proudly participate a twofold experience, one of the Spirit and one of our history. In the realm of the Spirit, our fathers taught us thousands of years ago that when God created man, he created him as everybody's neighbor. And neighbor is not a geographic term, it is a moral concept." Between this speech and the famous participation of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who joined Dr. King and John Lewis arm in arm in the March of Selma, Alabama to Montgomery, Alabama, we have this incredible partnership between the Jewish community and the African American community. The Selma March started with 12 men and women joining arms and leading others across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And when Rabbi Heschel returned from Selma, he was asked by someone, "Did you find time to pray when you were in Selma?" And Rabbi Heschel famously responded, "I prayed with my feet." I've mentioned many times that my father of blessed memory was also part of this incredible experience, this incredible walk, something he talked about his entire life. I mentioned these interactions so that we will understand not only the historic importance of John Lewis, but the early on alliance that developed between the Jewish community and the black community when it came to fighting for civil rights in our country. When John Lewis, the civil rights icon and congressman from Georgia, died at age 80 over this past weekend, Jews in America and abroad truly lost an ally of nearly 6 decades. He never tired of telling folks to get into good trouble, to defy the authorities and the conventional wisdom. It was a creed that guided him as he helped organize the '63 March on Washington, and it was something that he talked about also his entire career in Congress. He had this close relationship with the Jewish community dating, as I said, way back to the 1960s, and he was truly embraced as a true partner in fighting for similar ideals between our community and his. Forward magazine wrote this beautiful article on Wednesday of this week, which I want to share part of this article. It talks about many of those iconic Jewish moments where we needed his support and he needed ours. We were there for each other. There's a narrative about coalition building, that the unity that defined the Black-Jewish alliance in the 1960s dissipated in the 1980s. But Lewis did not seem to be following that narrative. Some people thought that that alliance had broken apart, in part because of new black leaders like Andrew Young and Jesse Jackson, who vocally embraced the cause of the Palestinians and split their support in a different direction than the Jewish community was going. But it was Lewis who said that he was there to be on our side and to embrace the state of Israel. Jews have been hesitant at times to link Jewish suffering with that of African Americans, but Lewis was not. At a mass Washington demonstration in 1987, calling for the liberation of Soviet Jewry, he did not hesitate to make this connection, and he said, "I stand here not so much as a member of Congress, but I stand here as a human being. Almost 25 years ago, I participated in a march here for jobs and freedom. Hundreds of thousands of members of the Jewish community marched with us then. I think it's fitting for me to be with you here today." Support of the Jews of the former Soviet Union. In 1995, Nation of Islam founder Louis Farrakhan set out to convene black men in Washington, D.C. at a rally meant to extend the symbolism of the '63 March on Washington. Some prominent figures from the civil rights movement attended the Million Man March, including Rosa Parks. But Lewis said he would not attend because of Farrakhan's track record, which then, as now, included anti-Semitic comments. I cannot overlook past statements by Louis Farrakhan and others associated with the Nation of Islam, which are divisive and bigoted, he said. Lewis told Newsweek at the time, although its general goal of encouraging African American men to be responsible is sound, the march is fatally undermined by its chief sponsor. He took a stand in supporting Israel, but differed with the position of Prime Minister Netanyahu when he came to Washington. In 2015, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accepted an invitation from then U.S. House of Representatives Speaker John Boehner, a Republican, to speak in Congress against President Barack Obama's Iran policies. I remember I happened to be there at that time with AIPAC. Boehner, who had not consulted with Democrats in Congress or the White House about the invitation, framed Netanyahu's speech as a more serious take on Iran, and members of the Congressional Black Caucus saw it as an all too familiar diss. The white man was pushing the black man out of the limelight. So it caused a huge stir. Pro-Israel groups and figures also had been caught by surprise by the invitation. Nonetheless, the prospect of a boycott appalled them. and they set about trying to persuade Democrats from turning up. But Lewis would not have it. But he emphasized his support for Israel in his decision not to attend the speech. I am saddened that the speaker would threaten the historic position, bipartisan support of our Israeli brothers and sisters by this action, he said. Israeli officials joined the chorus of worldwide leaders mourning Lewis this week. They said, "The U.S. lost a hero, and Israel has lost a friend." Lewis was also opposed to the BDS movement, the Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions movement. He supported the principle of the right to boycott, a very effective tool. But in this particular case, he felt that it was ill-advised and that its message was wrong. "I want to make it very clear," he said, "that I disagree strongly with the BDS movement." He said, "But I want you to know that I support in principle Americans' right to protest and to boycott." So now you know a little bit more about this iconic figure. The likes of him we hope, please God, to see sometime again. But in the meantime, his leadership and moral compass will surely be missed. So in conclusion, I want to share with you the invocation I gave in August 2015. I remember sitting at home in front of my computer knowing that the invocation that I would deliver should somehow tie in to the achievements of this very special, iconic civil rights figure. This is how I did it. These are my words at this gala in 2015. And so the time has come, my brothers, my sisters. We will be heard. We will not be silent. We will march forward and not backward. We will remember our past, but embrace a different future for ourselves and our children, one in which all receive true justice, where each vote matters and reflects the will of a person and collectively the will of the people. Yes, my brothers, my sisters, we will not be silent. We will be heard, and we shall remember the victories of the past and not allow anyone to take them away from us. For we will keep marching forward towards justice with God Almighty on our sides. And so we celebrate 50 years of the Voting Rights Act, but we are asked to fight to ensure the vitality of this act, which has meant so much to millions of people across our great nation. So come, my brothers, my sisters, let us be heard, let us march, let us shout, let us remember, and let us not be silent. God Almighty, give us words and fullness of heart. Give us ears that hear clearly the words of justice, and legs that march to the rhythm of a just society. The time has come, my brothers, my sisters. The time has come. We will be heard. We will not be silent. We will march forward, always forward, with justice our constant companion, and God Almighty our protecting shield. Shabbat Shalom. Amen.
most important thing is not to be afraid, not to be afraid. We begin to conclude our service on page 586 with Aleinu. Please rise. At this time, please submit names for Kaddish and Yortzeit.
So we take a few moments to think of those who have died in the past few weeks and those who have died in years past whose Yortzeit is recalled. We say Kaddish for Brian Tabak, Corinne Johnson, Doris Grossbart, Erwin Molaski, Barbara Frank, Gail Frank, Joe Cuevas, Arlene Ruditsky, Carol Eileen Laurent, Gladys Hector, Ann Roque, Rose Vetty, and Jane Radoff. The service for Jane Radoff will be Sunday at 10:45 a.m., broadcast off the King David website. That'll be this Sunday, 10:45 a.m. for Jane. The Yortzeits that we recall: Estelle Oslander, David Bauman, Joel Berger, Natalie Berger, Sophia Berger, Arnold Blander, Jack Boloff, Marjorie Carmosen, Annie Cohen, Tilly Cohen, Florence Cohen, Morris Crystal, Bernice DeWald, Julia DeWald, Irene Eckert, Lillian Bear Epstein, Judith Etkin, Martin Fusaner, Bessie Freeman, Arlene Gerstler, David L. Glickman, Jenny Goldberg, Bessie Goldstein, Yetta Gratz, Hank Greenspun, Ben Handler, Bill Jarrett, Donald Leboff, Ruth Levins, Carol Eileen Laurent, Mitchell Malmud, Gregory Malley, Yetta Miller, Max Ratner, Nathan Rosenthal, Marty Sass, Catherine Solinsky, Tom Standish, Isidore Tobman, Herman Weiss.
Glenn David Kesselhout, Bill Robiton, David Robert Kanter, Janet Rosenbaum, Jerry Smart, Jerry Fox. If you submitted any names earlier in the service, I don't see them now because those have gone up into Facebook heaven. So please resubmit them if you wanted them mentioned. Okay, that's all I have.
598, we say Kaddish, Yit Gadal, Vid Kadash Shomeir Rabbah, B'yalma Divrach Hirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chaychon, V'yamechon, V'chayedachol Beit Yisrael, Magala, Uzman Karib, Yamru Amen, Yehei Shomeir Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam Omei Almaya, Yit Barach, V'yishtabach, V'yipa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Dekusha, B'richo, Leila Min Kol, Birchata, V'shirata, Tush Bechata V'nechemata, Damiram B'yalma V'yamru Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba min Shomeir v'chayim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. May be seated. So we want to express special appreciation to an employee who is retiring this week after 13 years of service, Linda Rosen, who has been our finance director. The end of July will be her last day, and she has been a source of great support. She's been a wonderful steward for our congregation's financial health, and a pleasure to work with. We are going to miss her, but we know that she and Alani, who happen to be roommates, are going to have a wonderful time. They're going to take a month-long trip, vacation, and we wish them wonderful time as they enter this new chapter of life. At the same time, we are going to have a new finance director. I know his first name. Do you know his last name? No.
Just Jeff.
We know his name right now is just Jeff. We will know his last name
by next
week, right?
Yeah.
And then Kanter and I have a new clergy assistant, Deborah Laser, and she will be starting on Monday. So special welcome to Deborah. We look forward to having you on staff. Sometimes we work here at Temple, but since we're mostly shuttered, we also work from home. But as you know, some things are gearing up, such as religious school, if you missed the beginning of this broadcast. So we got a lot to accomplish. High holidays, religious school, things keep marching on. We are as busy as ever, so we welcome the support for Deborah. We haven't had a clergy assistant in about 4.5 months, so welcome aboard. We're going to keep you very busy. All right, now it's time for a special presentation.
Oh yeah, we're gonna give you the Kiddush Cup. It's too soon.
Yeah, it's too soon.
Gotta give you your award first.
Okay, let's take out the award. All right, what does this award say, Kanter?
Congregation Near to Meet Shomeir Torah Award 2019-2020, Delaney, Kanter.
All right, now this award is something that she earned and merited because she, according to our calculation, attended services the most time during the 2019-2020 school year. And so, did you enjoy coming to Temple?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't a chore, it was a delight, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't give her an award for this. Maybe we should take it. No, you really did a great job.
I remember when you started coming to the synagogue, it was for Tot Shabbat in the other room.
That's right.
And you were real tiny.
You have always loved coming to Temple. We're so glad that your parents bring you here. And so this award is something that we hope will proudly be on display in your room. And you are also meriting holding a Torah for Yom Kippur, and you are now a symbol of the very best that we hope our students will become. Someone who loves God, who loves coming to Temple, who observes the Sabbath, and who just loves being Jewish. So Mazel Tov, we are so very, very proud of you.
Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu.
All right.
All right, now I can give you your Kiddush cup. So
that's
go ahead.
right.
We'll
you can
place
put her
this up
award
here.
down.
You're gonna have to clean it every day to get all the fingerprints off. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Amen. All right.
Now,
So-
where did this challah come from?
So I mix up the days. I've been mixing up days a lot this week. I don't know what
I
to
don't
blame
know
it on.
why.
There's just so many things in my brain. And I just assumed that Lori Bourne was doing it. It was on my list for some reason. I think I put it there. And because she was, it's a long story. Anyway, I texted her and I asked her about it. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll make one. So she made us one within a couple of hours. And she made sure that it didn't have any allergy-inducing ingredients. So it is, I believe she said, fig, butter, date, and cinnamon, something like that. So, sounds very cool and Jewish. All right.
Ooh.
So, I think she did 2. Oh no, she did 3. 3. Ah, okay.
Be careful.
We won't rip it yet. Let's just do the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. All right, you got 2 hands, can't you?
I don't know why I thought this one was cut.
You can do it.
Take that one inside the gloves.
All right, come on. That's good.
Oh, it's really good.
It's really good. What do you think? It's a
I
keeper.
like it.
It's a keeper.
That's really yummy. All right. I don't know who's on for next week. Oh no, I do know who's on for next week.
It kind of tastes
Our
like
bat
chocolate
mitzvah.
chips.
Yeah, little chocolate chip.
Our bat mitzvah's on for next week, so that's exciting.
Who's our bat mitzvah next week? Do you know?
Eden Resnick.
Eden Resnick. Oh, so that'll
There's
be
gonna
next
be
Saturday morning.
5 b'nai mitzvah in a row, so stay tuned.
Those will be on Saturday morning, but the students help us on Friday night services, so that's great. All right, our final song.
Inspired by the good works of John Lewis, we're going to sing together Olam Chesed Yibaneh. We will build this world with love.
And thank you, Ricky Reinhardt. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh,
Let's turn on the stool a bit.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, lai, yalalai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yalalai, yalalai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, I must build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.